Hey, gang, here I am. As per your request, we're dropping new videos. I got the lingo down too, don't I? So we're doing fun presidential facts. You guys have to memorize the President of the United States. The first 11 are due sometimes mid-semester. I'll keep you posted on that deadline. But I thought I'd share with you some fun presidential facts and see if we can learn a few things as we go along. As we memorize these presidents of the United States. So we're talking about early American history. We the people, of course, demand more dank memes. Gotta love me some Chuck Norris, hot dogs, and American Eagles. Here we go. Oh yeah, and if you're paying attention to the news, Brexit is all over the news, but so you know, the United States did it first and best, definitely best, with their initial Brexit. So here we go. First, a quiz. Which founding father fathered 6 children with one of his slaves? Ooh. Think about that. We'll come back to it and we'll find out the answer in a few minutes. So our first president of the United States was George Washington, General George Washington. He was president from 1789 to 1797. And yes, you do have to learn the terms of office, how long they were there. So George Washington, 89 to 97. During the American Revolution, he actually led the Continental Army and defeated the British. He was the only president unanimously elected to the presidency, meaning all of the representatives voted for him in the Continental Congress. He actually was one of, I think, the only presidents to lead troops into battle after becoming president. He personally led U.S. militia troops in the Whiskey Rebellion to put down that rebellion. He was a tough guy. Then, as father of our country, he refused to be given the title of king. We were moving away from a monarchy, and he also refused a 3rd term of office in order to demonstrate a peaceful transition of power from one political party to another. So there you go. There you have it. Our first founding father making America. Not great again, just making it. So, which president had the shortest ever inaugural speech? Yeah, you guessed it. That was that president, George Washington. Then you have John Adams. He was the next president from 1797 to 1801. None of his family members were present for inauguration. So sad. But if you had hair like that, I'd be scared of him too. His son, John Quincy Adams, became the 6th president of the United States. His hair wasn't much better. Inherited the bad hair gene, I see. Why does my son look like Ebenezer Scrooge? That's really the question. He wanted the president of the United States to be addressed as Your Highness. So he kind of liked the idea of being royalty. However, we don't do that. We call the president Mr. or Mrs. should we ever nominate and elect a female president. President. He was a Federalist. He was very much in favor of a strong central government and felt that the central government should sort of reign supreme over the states. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm going to have to fix that. Fun fact, his last words were Thomas Jefferson survives, which happened to not be true because Thomas Jefferson actually had died a few hours before him. Both men died on July 4th, 1826 at very ripe old ages. But he was wrong that Thomas Jefferson, who was his political nemesis for much of their political careers, died before him. Our next founding father, Thomas Jefferson, he was president from 1801 to 1809. He was actually an anti-federalist, more in favor of states' rights and favored state governments having strong power. He is most famous for writing the words of the Declaration of Independence. And one of the first things he tried to do when he was president, because he was an anti-federalist, was reduce the size of the federal budget and started moving power back into the hands of the states. He also lowered taxes, which made him really popular. Fun fact, he was an architect and designed his own home at Monticello, as well as the University of Virginia. However, despite being an anti-federalist, he did one of the most federalist things you could do, and he bought property on behalf of the United States, nearly doubling the size of the United States with purchasing the Louisiana Territory from the French, nearly doubling the size of the United States for a mere $15 million. Pocket change, my friends, pocket change. So, which founding father fathered 6 children with one of his slaves? Thomas Jefferson, folks, had an affair with one of his slaves, Sally Hemings, who also happened to be his wife's half-sister. And there you have it. The man who was all about equality kept slaves his whole career. So here you go. More memes. You got to love the history memes. And all right, there you go. Get me subscribers. Let's make some money. Peace out, yo.